Welcome back, college baseball central fans. We're here today on this another special edition of the weekend rotation. I got Alex Day here. I got AJ Sessions, and then we got the wonderful Cam Fisher from Charlotte. Welcome in, guys. How are we doing today?
Fantastic.
Doing good, man.
It's gorgeous out here. So we're going to get going right here. We don't want to take too much of Cam's time. We really appreciate him coming on. AJ, why don't you get us started here with these questions we got lined up for him?
Yeah, well, for those of you who don't know Cam, outfielder at Charlotte, sophomore. He was a freshman All-American last year. He's on the All-Conference USA preseason team this year. Led Charlotte in home runs. I think he was second in RBIs, first in slugging percentage RBIs. So I think he was one of only two players for Charlotte to start every single game for him last year. So we feel more than honored to have Cam join us today. So Cam, coming off of what was personally a successful season for you last year, what has been the thing you're most looking forward to about getting started back up this year?
Honestly, I think the vibe around our program is like we got a lot of unfinished business. We got a lot of things that we want to prove, a lot of things that we want to show. And I think the biggest thing for us is building on things that, we fell short of last year. Making sure we stay healthy. I think that was a little bit of an issue for us last year too. We had a lot of injuries. And then just proving to people that, man, we belong. We belong in the big picture. We belong in the regional picture, super regional picture, and honestly, even Omaha picture. We truly believe that here. I think the work that we've done this fall has really put us in a position to, maximize our potential being that. And I think the way that we've come together as a team and kind of righted the ship from last year and stuff that, we knew we needed to work on. I think we got a great chance to surprise a lot of people this year, be a sleeper team that nobody really talks about till the end.
Well, that's what we're here. We're here talking about it now. So like why Charlotte? We know it's a great city. It's a great college, great campus. Everything's awesome about it. And how did you get down there? How'd you get to Charlotte?
So I guess my path is a little bit unorthodox, but, from the last 5 or 6 years, it's coming a little more common, I guess would be a way to put it. So I started out, committed my sophomore year of high school to Ole Miss. Went to Ole Miss my freshman year. COVID happened, and decided to transfer from Ole Miss, and had a couple options, but chose to take the junior college route and signed with Walter State. And so I was, I think, 19 going into Walter State. I guess it was 2021 year. And Coach Shelton gave me an opportunity there. And I think that's where I really kind of came into my own as a baseball player. I learned a lot, not only about myself, but kind of about how to approach this game, how to be, who I am and what my skill set is. And I think that's what junior college does for a lot of guys. And so had a great year at Walters, had a lot of success, went to the JUCO World Series. I think we won like 62 or 63 games or something like that, broke a program record. And, was able to play around some guys that, some of the best players I've ever been around. Alberto Osuna, Matt Ellis, to name some. Osuna's at Carolina. Ellis is at Indiana. And, just being able to be around those guys, and, man, they made me so much better. And I credit them for, put me in the position to be at a place like Charlotte and, have the opportunity to come and play here. And so when Coach Woodard and his coach Bicknell reached out, it just felt like family here, man. It really did. Like this place, like I've been fortunate enough to be at 3 great programs, but man, Charlotte's a family. And they really preach that, togetherness, being around each other every day. Like it's tough, but family's family, and you don't quit on family. And we don't, we have a culture here. We don't quit on each other. Iron sharpens iron every single day. And we've grown to kind of embrace the fact that we've got some unfinished business.
So tell us a little bit about Charlotte, the school.
Yeah.
We'll get more into the baseball program specifically here in a second, but kind of fill us in on, because it used to be UNC Charlotte. Now it's, I think, officially Charlotte.
Yeah.
So what are you majoring in? What classes have you enjoyed? any particular professor you'd like to give a shout out to?
So I'm a double major right now. So I'm double majoring in exercise science and sociology. And so I'm finishing my sociology degree in the spring, and then we'll finish my exercise science in, I think, the fall of next year. And so probably the best class I think I've taken since I've been in college was an exercise strength and conditioning class. The teacher is a huge supporter of Charlotte baseball, and probably one of the best things about that class was like I was able to actually apply it to like what I do and like my sport and like the way my body moves and the way that I can kind of tink my body to like move a different way and maximize. Like that's kind of the stuff that I was able to pick up on. And like, you know, we're here to be athletes, but you know, school is a big part of like kind of building, you know, your knowledge of like what can I be better at on the baseball field. And so I think I can point to that class in particular and be like, hey, that class made me better on the baseball field too.
Yeah. And speaking of, you know, taking that knowledge, being in those classes and getting that puts right into our next baseball question here about what makes a great power hitter. I mean, obviously that class helped. You hit 18 home runs. How do you approach every at bat, and how do you think about as a power hitter going up there every time?
So I guess my impact in the lineup was, you know, you're a doubles guy. You're in the lineup to do damage. And a lot of that came with, you know, working in the weight room, getting stronger, getting leaner. And then just having the approach that, you know, it's not like I'm looking for this pitch right here, right down the middle, but understanding that I can do damage on a lot of different pitches. And so, you know, having the mindset of going up to the box, you know, you got a little swag going up to the box because you know, you're a power guy. Power guys just kind of have swag. And, you know, you're up there and you're ready to, if he makes a mistake, like, you know, you're ready to crush it. And, you know, having that mindset of, you know, it might not be right down the middle, but, you know, I can do damage on that slider that he kind of hangs middle in, or that changeup that kind of is at the letters. Just having that ability to pull the trigger on pitches that, you know, you're a strong guy, you can do damage on type thing.
So, you know, being a baseball player, we all tend to be fairly superstitious. Do you have any pre-game, post-game superstitions, maybe meals you eat before each game?
A lot of mine actually come from my dad. There was one rule that you could never break when you step on a baseball field is you never step on the white line. And to this day, I have never stepped, I wouldn't say never, but I purposely have never stepped on chalk, whether it's turf or in the outfield. I can't force myself to do it. And then, I mean, there's a couple things. You never, ever, ever put your right sock on first, always your left. Never, ever, 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 ever in a million years put your belt on before you put. I mean, it's like never put a belt on before a shirt. You know, always make sure that your pants are tucked over your cleats. Like, it's just little things that, you know, my dad always taught me growing up that, you know, it may be wacky to some, but you never step on the white line. You never put a belt on without a shirt. And, I mean, just little stuff, little things that he always thought, you know, baseball gods are always watching you. You always run out hard as you can out of the box, no matter if it's 500-foot homer or a ground ball to the pitcher. Your baseball gods know if you dog it to first base. And that was always a big thing for him. Just little stuff like that. All baseball gods are always watching you.
Yeah, they giveth and they taketh away.
They will take it away very quickly too.
So fast. Every time I hit a home run, I sprinted the bases. And just the first time I did it on accident, and then from then on, it was like every time I hit one, I was like, I'm running. It just worked. So I'm
hard out of the box. You never know, that quiet gust of wind may knock that homer down real quick.
Yeah, people don't forget when you stop at first for a single after, you know, pimping a home run, but they remember if you get to third on a triple when you hit a ball that you thought was going to get out. So,
oh yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about this team. You know, you got lots of great teammates here. This program's really booming. Tell us more about this ball club here.
It really is. So I would really say that we're on an upward trend. our program in particular. And I think a lot of it has to do with the way that Coach Borders developed the pitching side of it. So, our conferences now, Conference USA has always been a hitter's conference, but to get where we want to go, the things that separate the good teams and the great teams are pitching and defense. Coach Woodard always keeps it simple. The game hasn't changed in 150 years. You still gotta field it. You still gotta play catch, and pitchers still have to throw strikes. And the thing that that we've been taught that separates the good teams from the teams that make it, the teams that have success, are the teams that can always do it on the mound and the teams that are locked down on defense. You can always, I guess, hit your way out of games, but bats go cold. I mean, it just happens. You go in slumps, and one thing that never slumps is defense. So we've always been taught. We've practiced it to the nth degree, almost to perfection. Defense matters, and so I think the thing that's kind of changed this program is the way that we've kind of prioritized the mound and the way that we handle ourselves in the field. I think that's sent us on an upward trend.
Yeah, tell that to Tennessee last year when they came in as the hottest hitting team in the country, and then they got shut down by Notre Dame. So
you never know, man. It just happens. Bats go cold, and I mean nobody knows why. It just kind of happens,
It's like you can hit it 110, but if it's a line drive right at somebody, it's an out.
Yeah, if it's right at somebody, it doesn't matter. You're still out. It counts the same in the book as a ground ball.
Yep.
So to kind of build off that, I know with the optimism and the momentum that Charlotte's building, like you'll have I think it was the number 2 rated junior college recruiting class this year.
Yeah.
Obviously bringing some talent in. What does it look like to be able to take the next step to make the tournament? I guess, again, Charlotte made it a few years ago, but make it again and actually set yourself up for a postseason run.
I think honestly, we've got the bats to do it, but I think what it's going to be for us is on the mound. I mean, we brought in horses on the mound this year. And I think that we're really going to surprise a lot of people with what we roll out. I mean, Coach Porter has brought in some dudes on the mound, just plain and simple. And we kind of knew that with injuries last year that we were a little bit limited, I guess, in our options. But the way that we've prioritized, I guess is a good way to put it. We prioritize pitching, and our pitching staff this year is unbelievable. We really are. So I think for us, the next step is going to be showing people that our pitching staff is the real deal. And I think we're going to do that. I really do.
Yeah, Conference USA has some really good teams in it. And, Louisiana Tech last couple of years has been really good. What's your favorite places you've gone and played at?
That's tough. Hitting wise, for a hitter, the best place that I think I've ever played at in college was Old Dominion. I mean, I've never actually seen a ball fly the way that it does at Old Dominion. Even out in Colorado, like when we were at the World Series, it flew. I mean, the air's so thin out there that it just goes. But I mean, when we were at Old Dominion, I mean, I think in the weekend that we played there, we hit probably 20 home runs combined or something. It was a ridiculous number. But I think park-wise, the coolest park I've ever actually played at, AJ, you're going to like this one. South Carolina was probably the coolest game atmosphere that I think I've ever been a part of. Even on a Tuesday midweek, that was a really, really cool place.
That warms my heart.
I mean, it was, man. There were probably 5,000 people there that night on a midweek that, South Carolina and Charlotte, it wasn't an SEC matchup. And, they were still heckling in right field. They were still giving us the business out there. But, man, that was a really, really, really cool place.
Yeah, there's some really good ball down there. And like you said, you got to play in a lot of cool ballparks. Speaking of big league ballparks, who's your favorite big leaguer and who do you kind of mirror your game after?
So I think he's in the Hall of Fame. I think he got voted in, or he's getting voted in next year. But the guy I grew up watching was Joe Mauer. He's my favorite player. I tried to model my swing actually like identical to his growing up. But Joe Mauer, and I think if I had to throw another guy in, Todd Helton would be the other one. But Joe Mauer just had me and my dad used to watch videos and watch games, and it was kind of towards the end of Mauer's career. But he was absolutely my favorite player to ever watch because I wanted to be a catcher growing up. And always the coolest dude to ever watch on TV behind the plate was Joe Mauer. Love that guy.
He was just smooth and ready to go at all times, and the guy was just ready.
He always had something cool he was doing, just so nonchalant. I loved it. I loved watching him play.
And Todd Helton, I mean, you're talking about college baseball lore. I mean, that guy's one of the best that ever played the game. So two pretty good guys there.
The cool thing too about Helton, man, he lives about 15 minutes up the house from my house in Knoxville, and we train in the same gym. And I gave him a job. I was out in Colorado. I bought a jersey, and it was Helton's All-Star jersey, and asked him to sign it. Got it signed the same day. Had it back to me the same day. To Cam, really appreciate your love, man, and patronism. And that's the guy I work out with back home. Signed it, Todd Helton. He's just an awesome dude, man.
That's awesome. Dude. So for you personally, for this upcoming season, what does the next step for you look like? What your next step in your game?
So I think the thing that I need to improve on the most, I had a strikeout problem last year. And so biggest thing I want to prove to a lot of people is that I'm not just a power guy. I'm a hitter, and I want people to view me as a complete hitter. 2 strike counts, he's not going down. He's going down with a fight. Early in the count, he's getting a hack off. But I want to prove to a lot of people that, I'm not just the guy that's going up looking to pull a homer into the bullpen. Like I can be a hitter. And I think that's the thing that I've most developed and tried to kind of, I wouldn't say like hone in on, but more just kind of understand like how has my approach changed? What do I need to think with my approach to, make me a more complete hitter? And I think I've done that over the course of this fall and this spring, with the help of our hitting coach and all the guys that we're surrounded with here. I feel like that's one of the biggest things that's kind of helped me grow mentally more than physically, I think, is just kind of honing in on my approach and kind of realizing that, you can be more than just a power guy. You can do damage in all counts. And just kind of realizing that, I got a lot to prove. I got a chip on my shoulder. And I just go out and show it. Just play your game.
Yeah, just be ready to go when the time hits. So
when your bell is called, be ready to go.
So what series are you looking forward to most, this year? Which one's the one you got circled that you're like, oh, I'm ready for these guys?
Virginia Tech. One of my dearest friends, Carson DeMartini. I played with him this summer. Kind of chatting back and forth. Another one of my best friends, Gary Ebel, plays up at Virginia Tech. We've had that one circled. Not that that's the most important series. Most important series is, Friday night versus Ball State, February 17th. Like that's what we're focused on here. But, everybody here has that vibe. Like Virginia Tech's coming. Like we're ready. Like we're getting ready. Everybody's kind of got that one circled. That's going to be a big series.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that one. That one's going to be a good one. We have quite a few Virginia Tech followers, and we love watching that series anytime Vautech plays. So we'll be circling that one as well, Cam.
They're a great team. So I think that'll be a proving point for us.
That could be a breakout series for getting Charlotte out there.
Absolutely.
So you've played a lot of baseball. You've been around a lot of ballparks. But what is your favorite individual moment in baseball? I know this is tough.
It is tough.
Give me one. Give me a couple if you got some.
Oh man. That is tough. So I guess the first one. So when I was 12 years old, our our travel ball team actually won the first week of Cooperstown. So that would probably be my first big time memory. But if I had to pick one specific game or one specific memory, it would honestly be dogpiling to go to Grand Junction. That was probably the highlight up to this point of my college baseball career. Not many people get to experience that. Going to a World Series, winning 63 games, like that was special.
Every baseball guy wants that feeling of dogpiling on a field. Everybody's
Absolutely.
looking for that. People that don't get the game, they don't understand the excitement. But when that happens, you get a dogpile. It's the best thing in baseball. There's no doubt there.
It's unbelievable. It's an unbelievable feeling. It really is.
Alex, AJ, any more questions we got for Cam while we got him on here?
Cam, what do you like to do in your free time?
I'm a big time fisher and a huge hunter. So being kind of East Tennessee, whitetail are everywhere. And my dad's actually in the hunting and fishing business. So ever since I was a little kid, we've always had fishing gear around. I've always been on the water. I didn't really go out into the coast, like into the ocean, until I was a little bit older and able to kind of handle it a little bit better. But I've caught that bug a little bit too. My girlfriend, her dad actually, he goes on plenty of charter trips out of Wilmington, North Carolina, and always bringing back fish for us. And that's kind of that's going to be one of my passions too, along with golf, like we were talking about once I'm done. But I've really, over the last 6 or 7 years too, have caught the hunting bug. And I've been fortunate enough to travel to some really cool places and do it. So
Damn, sounds like we got a new best friend here, guys. I mean, like hunting, fishing, and going out there and crashing golf. I mean, what are we doing here? We're talking about baseball. I mean, I'm more excited about those things now, Cam.
I'm hooked, man. I'm telling you, I'm hooked.
I love it. I mean, we love the outdoors and being the baseball. You got to do other things to keep that mind sharp and fresh.
Absolutely.
And getting out there doing those other things. You know, I think every great baseball player wants to be a great golfer. It usually doesn't work out for us.
Never works out for us.
It works out for the pitchers.
Yeah. Pitchers are the best golfers. I've come to realize that.
Well, hey, we very much appreciate you coming on. Awesome show here, guys. I really appreciate talking to you, Cam. We look forward to seeing you again. Vautech series. Don't forget to catch him in that Ball State series opening up weekend, February 17th. God, we're getting close. We're so excited for this season to start here. So for Alex Day, AJ Sessions, myself, and Cam Fisher, thanks for coming on. Go check us out. Go check out all of our other stuff on College Baseball Central. We'll bring lots more of these interviews, and we appreciate it, Cam.
Absolutely, man. I can't thank you guys enough, man. This was awesome. Thank you.